Well, hello, Purple Raiders and all our alumni and friends. You're welcome to join us for coffee with Tom and Kendrick today. We're with Dr. Kendrick Brown, who's a 1993 graduate of Mount Union, which means he arrived on campus about the same time as me. I was a 1989 arrival. So we came to campus together. He grew up and went on to do great things, but we just wanted to let you know that now he's at Morehouse College. So he's gone deep into the South and is a provost. So before we get started too far, Kendrick, tell us what's a provost. Some people know a vice president. What's a provost do?
Provost is essentially the one who works closely with the faculty and the administration, ensures that there's shared governance between what the faculty want to do with the curriculum and involvement with decisions at the institution, and ensures that folks feel that they're being heard and that we're able to ensure that students are learning the way that we want to. So it's pretty much a collaborative position. It's no days are ever the same, which makes it exciting, but very much it's meant to be this connector, if you will, between the faculty and the rest of the institution.
So you're really at the core of the mission to take that academic program and make it something that the faculty keep upping their game and the students come along and each year perform and work through and graduate and do great things in their lives. It sounds like it's pretty mission driven work.
Absolutely, absolutely. So on a daily basis, I think about Morehouse's mission. I think about what the college wants to achieve with the students who are here and also the contributions to society and the world. And it keeps me very much grounded in what higher education is about and what we hope to achieve with our students and what we hope the world will develop into.
It's fantastic. So let's roll back a few years to about 1987, 1988. And young Kendrick Brown is thinking about where he wants to go and launch himself onto this path that you've been on for about 30 years now. And you came to Mount Union. What made you decide that Mount Union was the place?
What really grabbed me was small school, relatively close to home because I wanted to stay close to my family. But really the clincher for me was I got a presidential scholarship. So that meant, especially because at the time I'd come from a family that just recently experienced a divorce. I was with my mother. So I was very concerned about ensuring that we could pay for college. And so when Mount Union offered this 4-year opportunity, I was ecstatic. I thought, all right, my mother doesn't have to take out the loans and I can get a quality education. And, that was a clincher. So more than just wanting to be at a liberal arts college, Mount Union gave me an opportunity that I couldn't have gotten anywhere else.
Oh, that's fantastic. So we're with our alums virtually right now, and I would just want to thank all them for the contributions they've made on scholarships over the year, because you're another just like me. I was one of 13 and didn't know how I was going to pay for college, and a lot of people pitched in and helped out, and so it's great to know that for 30 years now you've been paying back that presidential scholarship with a lot of students.
Absolutely. I think about my experience every day, every moment that I'm doing this job. And, at the heart of it is I want to be committed to having students learn and, making sure there's opportunities. So yeah, Mount Union put me on that path. So it's been a great path ever since then.
Well, what was your major when you were at Mount Union?
Funny story there. I started off as a math major. And then about halfway through, I switched to psychology, but still grateful for that math background.
Wow. So you had Bill Markley and probably Mike Zwilling as faculty. Dr. Markley was at the football game a couple weeks ago, and he's doing well. He's retired from pitching softball, but he's still sharp and rooting on the Purple Raiders.
Oh, that
And
is great.
but then you changed paths halfway through.
I did, and I appreciated where I was going with math, but the lure of really trying to understand people just pulled me in. And also, I'll be honest, I took an introduction to psychology class, and I believe it was with Dr. Stephen Kramer. I think it was. And that stayed with me. And I thought, hey, I think I'm going in a different direction, psychology. And I really appreciated the class I took with Dr. Kramer. And that is what put me on the path.
So Steve Kramer is still very active on campus, and I was trying to figure out how I knew you because you weren't a business major, so you wouldn't have come through my classes. And it turns out our connector is the multicultural retreats that we both went on, and you probably went on 3 or 4 of those over the years. And so I got to know you as part of that, and then some of your other activities on campus. Tell me about your memories about those.
You know, what I recall about being at Mount Union, I was involved in so many organizations. I had the opportunity to lead some, and the lessons I learned, I'm still remembering, probably shaping a lot of what it is that I do now. But just great opportunities. I think about the multicultural retreat and just being able to connect with folks. It was students and faculty and staff. I mean, it was a range of people. And, just being able to combine, what I was learning in the classroom with those experiences outside of it. I mean, that's what you want in the experience that you have in college.
Yeah, you build those relationships, and that learning just transforms you, and you slowly but surely figure out all these different ways of doing things. Those retreats are great. You're out in the woods for a weekend. You might as well listen to what somebody else has to say for a while, because there's well, that was pre a lot of the social media and such. So we still actually spoke to each other anyway, but kept doing all those things. And you were in a ton of organizations on campus when you were there. So you learned a lot of time management skills and how to balance the classroom with all the things that you did outside.
I really, really did. I met a lot of wonderful fellow students. I was able to connect, for instance, with the International Student Association, got to know a lot of folks. I want to give a shout out to Feolaki Tevi. I have not seen him in such a long time, but he was influential in my Mount Union experience. And also, of course, the Black Student Union. That was a pivotal experience too. So I had a range of different kinds of experiences, a number of different service honoraries. I did student senate. I feel like I got a lot
Yeah.
out of that experience. So so much that's shaping who I am now. It's really great.
Sounds like you put a lot of time into it and a lot of sweat equity in making it all work at the universities. Is there anything else that you have that's just sort of a memory that you have of your time at Mount Union? It's like, okay, you already gave a couple shout outs here. So just a memory of something that you'd say people should know this about Mount Union and my time there.
It's a lot of little things. It really is. It's walking in old Tollerton and Hood has probably been renovated since I was there.
It has been, and it's having its second renovation. It's
Wow.
becoming Oak Hall and Tower and Hood are connected. And in January, it's going to open with expanded space for business and engineering that are in that building now. So it really is new and just a wonderful, wonderful facility. If you're thinking about for coming to get another degree when you get done with this provost thing, we've got space for you.
No, that would be great. But I just think about that. I think about the walks I had, late at night with some people, just talking things through. I think about being able to go to faculty's offices. I actually was able to talk to administrators, something that you can't really do at a school that's larger than what Mount Union was at the time. I just think about all those little things, the connections, the conversations. I think about a fellow student who gave me the autobiography of Malcolm X to read, probably because I was annoying the heck out of him and he wanted me to learn something. And it stayed with me the rest of my life. I think about all these little moments that just add up and just been incredible.
That's terrific. Um, so what made you turn then? You graduate from Mount Union, and then all of a sudden you're going from psychology, but you're moving toward higher education as a career. What got you onto that path?
I thought about, the trajectory, and you're probably not going to be surprised. I said this about psychology, it was people. There are three people, I think, who have shaped this path that I'm on. One was I went to University of Michigan and working with Dr. James Jackson recently passed away, but I owe so much to him about thinking about what it means to be a professor and to give opportunities to students. So he shaped that general notion of, I want to be a part of this. Then I think about when I became an associate dean, I worked with a provost. Her name was Kathy Murray at Macalester College, and she shaped the sense of being an administrator. You know, people joke about the dark side, and I have Darth Vader bobbleheads in my office just to remind myself not to take that seriously. But Kathy really imparted in me that everything you do, even those administrative decisions, you have to put students at the center. It's always about the students. No matter what you're doing, it's always about the students. And then a third person who helped me with this path, I have to give a shout out to my wife, Dr. Hideko Sarah. And her influence was pretty much, you know, if you're going to do it, do it. don't dip in and out. If you're going to do it, pursue it and follow this path where it takes you. And so I've been doing that. So those three folks, you know, they gave me this foundation, and that's why higher education, you know, and what I'm doing.
Wow, so you've gone Michigan, you've gone Minnesota, so you've been in the balmy climes of Alliance, Ohio, and now you're at Morehouse. So tell us about the path that got you there.
You know, I have had this commitment to small liberal arts colleges. When I was at Macalester, that was the small liberal arts college I wanted. When I went to California for a bit, I worked at a university, but I still had a chance to move or to advance a liberal arts education, so that I became aware of Morehouse. I actually got contacted by a consultant, and I didn't even know they were looking for a provost. And I had a conversation, and I was just really impressed. I mean, it's Morehouse, of course, but beyond just that, where they are right now, the opportunities that are here at this moment, I just thought, you know, given the moment that we're in, especially a lot of the events of the last couple of years, I want to be at a place that advances the commitment to equity, inclusion, and belonging, as well as a liberal arts college, as well as having international impact. And so here I am working with a president that I deeply respect, and working with a faculty who are, oh my goodness, so incredibly committed, along with staff and incredible students who have stories. They're from all over the world. And so Morehouse for me was, it's a great school, but good opportunities for me professionally, as well as with my own commitments. So that drew me here.
When you talk about equity, inclusion, and belonging in your path, that's something that Mount Union was known for from the very start in 1846, with Hartshorne speaking of people of all races, all nationalities, genders, that we would have those who couldn't pay. So you've got some of that that's followed you for quite a long time now, from basically the end of your high school years all the way into your professional career. So that's great to know that that love for the liberal arts college started with Mount Union College, and now the University of Mount Union. So it's a straighter path than people think, even though you've flown all over and seen all parts of this big country of ours as a part of what you're doing.
So very true. And I will say that I've had some incredible experiences abroad as well, and had conversations with people who've gone to liberal arts schools in the United States. And so it's a worldwide experience. And hopefully when the pandemic is definitely something, you know, we all knock on wood, we'll put in our rearview mirror, we can have more of those international connections that really enrich our students and enrich the world too. So
I know you said you were part of the Association of International Students, and I had the pleasure of helping advise them, but also going to their dinners. So that was an important part of the cultural things have come back on campus. So I'll let you know that the BSU and AIS and all those other organizations are starting to be able to more fully do what they've always done, but less of it online and more of it in person. So hopefully someday you can get back to campus and we can have you come to a couple of those events and join us again.
that would be great. I've talked to my wife about showing her the campus and really getting a chance to reconnect with all that's happening. So that would be wonderful.
I should be amazed to see how it's grown. So tell me, when you think about higher education, And you've been in it for 30 years. I've been in higher ed for more than 30 years as well. So what's next? When 20, 30 years from now, what are people going to say? You remember that Kendrick Brown thing that they did at Morehouse? How
I
did that work out?
I think what they're going to end up saying is something that all the various schools are grappling with, which is we are now in the midst of a paradigm change. We had a notion of education in many places that it was all based on face-to-face. Now we're thinking about it in a more expansive way that is inclusive of online. I think we are now in this moment of figuring out when is it best to do online? When is it best to do in person? When is it best to have a combination? I am trying to have a great deal of flexibility with my colleagues here at Morehouse, but at the same time, I'm trying to keep us committed to the essence of a residential education. And so what I hope people will look back on is, given all the things that were happening, all the different forces at work, that Provost Brown really laid a foundation for where we are now, and we're able to navigate this. We're able to communicate value to our students because he laid a foundation. He listened to people and tried his best to keep in mind what was important, not just for faculty and staff, but for students as well. So that's where I hope we end up. Cross my fingers on that one.
Well, that's fantastic. The students of today will tell you what they want, and especially with where we've been this last year and a half, some of what we all sense now is very different from what it was. And online, it was sort of, well, we want the close relationships. We can still have those. In fact, maybe we can have them in a way that works better for our students, and that we make sure that when they look back on the years, they're like, this is the way it changed and happened for us. And it's not all about the sage on the stage giving a lecture, but that coaching, that mentoring, that building relationships that were the hallmark of a Mount Union education, and certainly that you see today at the schools that you've worked at as well.
Yeah, that makes sense. And I think that flexibility and commitment, that's at the core of it. That's what students resonate with. And if we can connect with that, ensure that students can connect with it, I think, the liberal arts education, what I got at Mount Union, what I'm trying to inspire or trying to connect with here at Morehouse, I think that's what's going to carry through. I really do.
Well, that's fantastic. Kendrick, I want to thank you for joining us today, all the way from Atlanta. I mean, that's amazing that you can come in from Atlanta so quick and turn the trips around. And I want to thank all our alums and friends that are out there today watching us and having coffee. I hope you'll come to campus soon. I'm ready to buy a few more cups of coffee. Some of you have taken me up on it now, so that's been a wonderful thing. I want to wish all of you the best of family and friends as we enter the holiday season, and just really excited that we're all finishing off strong in the fall semester of 2021 and getting ready for an even bigger and better 2022. Dr. Kendrick Brown, our guest today. Kendrick, thank you so much for being a representation of all that is good and for being forever a Purple Raider.
Thank you so much. I'm glad to have been here. Happy holidays, everyone.
Happy holidays. Go get them. Enjoy the end of the semester.